Hi, this is Space Cadet from Comic Creations, and I am here to give you the February devlog for my game, Overstimulation Simulation. To start off with the small stuff, I have made a tiny bit of progress on the character designs for the party level. Mostly just some line work and coloring, but any progress is good progress. I have also developed a particle system that will let people know whenever they have picked the right answer in a boss level. Hopefully that will allow people to see that the text and everything else has progressed in the conversation. I also participated in the Global Game Jam. If nobody is aware, the theme for the 2026 Global Game Jam was Mask. And it was very tempting to try and make a game based off of autistic masking. I even saw some people that did some stuff similar. But our group decided that the concepts were a bit better if they were done outside of a 72-hour crunch period. So instead we did a platformer. I did all of the 2D assets for this game. Though I do bring this up because my involvement did make me design some possible mini games for this game. As everyone knows, the current gameplay loop is walk around. If there's an item task, pick up the items as you travel the rooms. If there is a different task, then you go to the correct NPC and start talking to them, entering a kind of pick the right emotion mini game. And that's about it. I will share more later as there's something a bit more important to talk about. And that has to go with the current state of the game. In 2025, Unity had issued a high security alert for the majority of their versions. I was not aware of this at the time, but the version that Overstimulation Simulation is made on is one of the versions that falls under this alert. Which means that I need to put everything on hold and upgrade. I've been thinking about upgrading my version of Unity for quite a while. There are newer versions that have amazing improvements to UI and character movements. The struggles that I took to make the particle system in the UI will, in a future version, no longer be an issue. And since my game relies so much on UI, it would be a good idea to look at these new versions. In fact, some of the new versions would allow for easier access to unique fonts, which I have not been able to access. Though that is a long story of personal preference and just not important to the story. It also happens to be that my computer is starting to kind of fall low, and while I do have access on GitHub, I will soon need to abandon ship on that computer entirely. So it's a good excuse to upgrade. So you might be wondering, oh hey Space, why haven't you upgraded yet? And that's because, for anyone who doesn't know, of a little thing called refactoring. Whenever I upgrade, there is a chance that a system is going to break. There's a chance that you're going to have to push things into new systems that it wasn't originally built for, and stuff's going to have to be relooked at. The bigger the project, the more that can break when you refactor. So I will have to refactor something, I'm certain. There's also the fact that, as I said, my current primary computer is failing. That computer could not handle a lot of super fancy new versions that would want a better graphics card. So I held out much longer than I should have. I haven't started the upgrade yet, but what I'm going to do is keep a backup just in case something goes wrong. Make sure all of my GitHub versions are up to date, and once that goes down, I'm going to upgrade it to the new version and start doing everything from there. I will give an update whenever I think I've made enough progress to warrant an update, so it might take a while. Hopefully this is interesting to everyone. See you next time. Bye.